And our big story in the country right now, with just over 100 days to the presidential election, President Joe Biden has announced he's dropping out of the 2024 race for the White House. This morning, we are waiting new details on when he could possibly address the nation this week.
In a statement, Biden wrote, in part, "I believe it's in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." The president's decision follows weeks of calls for him to step aside, citing concerns about his poor debate performance, age, and ability to lead for 4 more years if reelected.
Now, President Biden is endorsing his vice president, Kamala Harris, as the new party nominee. Vice President Harris responding and saying, quote, "I will do everything in my power to unite the Democratic Party and unite our nation to defeat Donald Trump."
Her nomination would be historic, putting her as the first Black woman and first South Asian American to lead the ticket of a major political party. We don't know yet who her running mate might be.
And how would a Harris candidacy match up against former President Trump in November?
King 5's Drew Andre is here now with reaction from state leaders and a new King 5 exclusive poll.
That's right. We're getting a little insight from that poll when this was really just a theoretical poll between Trump versus Harris. What would the case be? Well, you see Harris there getting 51% of the vote. That is 1% better than President Biden. So you're seeing a pretty similar situation there and still within the margin of error. Now, when we asked non-Trump voters who should run if Biden were to drop out, more than half wanted the replacement to be Harris. Again, this poll was taken earlier this month. So a Harris versus Trump matchup could look similar to Biden versus Trump, at least for Washington voters. But the results did show that young people, 18 to early 30s, were slightly more supportive of Harris than Biden. But the pick to replace Biden will have their work cut out for them to entice voters just 106 days away from the general election.
We're going to support the president's choice in making this decision and in endorsing Vice President Harris. And we're moving forward to make sure that we're winning, for Democrats up and down the ticket here in Washington state.
It's going to occupy the time and the energy of Democrats here in Washington. So they're not going to be able to spend as much time and energy on local races.
And Walsh, the Republican chair, says that could drain money from races like the governor's race. But Democrats say there is a new energy here and also across the country, too. Now, this makes Biden the first president in nearly 60 years to not run for a second term by choice. But no major presidential candidate has dropped out of the race this close to Election Day. Jake.
Interesting stuff. Thank you, Drew. Also, former president and current Republican nominee Donald Trump, of course, reacting to this news as well. In a phone interview with NBC News, Mr. Trump did not mince details, saying, quote, "Joe Biden is the worst president in the history of the United States by far. There has never been a president who has done such damage to our country." The Republican vice presidential nominee, J.D. Vance, also responding, saying the president's the worst in his lifetime. In a statement posted on social media, the GOP Veep hopeful also said, quote, "President Trump and I are ready to save America. Whoever is at the top of the Democratic ticket, bring it on."
Governor Jay Inslee is among Washington's Democrats voicing support for Biden's decision to drop out. He shared on social media, quote, "As he's done for 5 decades, Joe Biden put his country first. Biden is going out on top with a long record of accomplishments we can all be proud of."
Recent polling among Washington voters suggested real concern over the president's fitness to hold a second term. Now voters are reacting to this latest announcement.
He's not what he was. I've seen videos of him for the last 10 years, and it seems like he's going down pretty fast.
Many say they were not surprised. The decision was inevitable, they believe, and say it was just a matter of time of when the announcement would come.